Coming up on Your Money and Your Life, first home buyer hotspots where properties are still within reach. How to think like a smart investor during market ups and downs. The brain science behind spending and how to take back control. Plus, in Kochie's budget challenge, solo mum Naomi's EV insurance eye-opener. G'day and welcome to Your Money and Your Life, the show that's all about saving, spending, investing and enjoying your money. My mission is to help you make the very most of your money. We're kicking things off with Kochie's Budget Challenge. Each week, with the team at Compare the Market, we dig into real families' biggest bills to see if we can find better deals. There's potentially thousands on the table. You just need to take a closer look. Today, we meet Sydney mum of 3, Naomi.
The biggest issue that I notice when people decide to separate is you always have one party who isn't involved in the financial decisions of that family and they don't understand where the money comes from and how it is actually spent. Hi, I'm Naomi from Sydney. I'm a single mum of 3 kids, 2 adult boys and a teenage daughter. I'm a divorce coach and strategist. The best way to describe what I do is I project manage people's divorces. I'm looking forward to meeting up with Kochie today and going through the bills and seeing where I can save on my expenses.
Naomi, good to see you.
Yes.
A solo parent, mum of 3 and a divorce coach.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What do you do?
So people can come to me at any stage of their divorce. I map out a plan for them essentially and introduce them to the appropriate professionals.
No lawyers. Whoa, that's good.
We save them to the end.
Okay.
We save them to the end.
Done the bill crunch
Yes.
on some of your biggest bills with the team at Compare the Market. And I reckon you're going to be in for a bit of a surprise. First of all, car insurance. 2 cars here.
Yes.
Gee, you and the boys pay a lot in car insurance premiums,
we
don't
do.
you? Nice car, though, you've got, though. Hyundai EV,
Yes.
the red one in the garage there.
Ioniq 6, yes.
They are great savers at the petrol station. But are you amazed how much they cost to insure?
Yes, I am quite shocked. But
Saving on fuel, paying on insurance.
Yes, yes.
Let's see if we can have the best of both worlds.
Yes, please.
Because your last renewal, $2,700.
I know.
Pretty big. The team at Compare the Market, they've found a policy, different insurer, a similar policy, and to save you around $710 a year.
That sounds like a pretty good saving.
And it's worth keeping in mind,
Yep.
its agreed value is a bit lower, so there are pros and cons to consider. If you're willing to increase your excess and going market value instead of agreed, ditch the optional extras, you could cut the insurance premium by $1,290.
Gosh, I thought I was actually saving because when I actually got the policy, they knocked off $500 already.
Wow.
So just like that, they knocked it
Okay.
off. But okay, I know that I can do better,
Okay.
so that's good.
Now, your 2 sons
Yes.
at uni share a car as well, a Mitsubishi Ute. Yeah, the boys, Ute. Premium $5,200 a year.
I know.
Huge. That's because they're both under 25.
Yeah.
But Compare the Market found insurer offering a similar policy, about $2,200 less.
They will be happy
year.
with that.
That's a lot of beer money for a couple of boys at uni, isn't it, on their Ute?
Yes.
If they're willing to up the excess, market value and no optional extras, it could shrink about $3,200 a year.
Yeah, no, that
So
sounds...
from over 5,000, shrinking it by up to 3,200 a year is a big difference.
That's massive. That's massive. That ute was
huge.
originally mine, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. So after I got divorced and everything, I decided I'm going to go out and get a ute because I was going to take them camping.
Did you ever do it?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah,
How
so
many
that-
times?
Oh, a few times. a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
times.
All right. It was worth it. So that's a pretty good start,
That
just
is
on
it.
car
Yes,
insurance.
Yes.
A few thought starters there. Let's look at your home loan. The Compare the Market home loan brokers reviewed the loan. They found you could refinance to a more competitive option with a slightly lower interest rate at 6.04%.
Okay.
So making that move to a different lender could save you around $134 a month, which in your case adds up to about $1,600 a year by refinancing to a lower rate. A good rate, but it always pays to shop around.
Yeah.
And just a slight reduction there means some big savings. So that's potentially a few $1,000s more.
Just like that.
Yep. And Naomi,
Yes.
there's more to come.
Oh, there's more?
Stick around. After the break, affordable suburbs with the most growth potential. A must-watch for first home buyers. Welcome back to Your Money and Your Life. Now, buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you will ever make. And while the government is offering more support for first home buyers in the latest budget, affordability remains a major hurdle. In fact, a recent survey from Macquarie University found 1/3 of young Aussies feel locked out and no longer believe that hard work and saving are enough to buy a home. So where can you still find properties that are within reach and provide good capital growth potential? Ray White, Chief Economist, Nerida Conisbee is with us. Nerida, you've done the number crunching for us. Run through the East Coast for us.
Yeah, so maybe we'll start in Sydney. The way we looked at it is to look at the places where there are a lot of homes selling under $1 million. And many of these suburbs, there's a lot of suburbs, but we chose ones that do have really good infrastructure. They do have walkable areas. They do have something that people like about them.
Which underpins capital growth.
Absolutely.
Those sort of features. Yep.
So Sydney is very difficult to find a house under $1 million. So when we had a look at the list, quite a lot of places where there were homes selling under $1 million. But in this case, we chose Oran Park and Blacktown as potential options.
Right.
Units, it opens up a little bit, but still very hard to find decent homes under $1 million. Somewhere like Parramatta, we know there's a lot of money pouring into that area. The infrastructure is getting better, the train lines is improving. The other suburb we chose was Marylands, and in both of those suburbs, there's a lot of units that sell well under $1 million.
Okay, Melbourne?
Melbourne, a lot more options available. So in Melbourne, we thought Sunbury was a good option. So near the airport, a mix of old and new housing. And then going southeast is Pakenham. So Pakenham does have, a little bit further out, but does again have really decent transport infrastructure. Units, a lot available. So you can go to a premium suburb like South Yarra for under $1 million, which is, one of the top suburbs.
Yes.
Carlton as well. So Carlton's a really fun place to live near the uni, near the city, and both of those have lots of very affordable options.
Now, what about Brisbane? Because it's overtaken Melbourne in terms of median prices.
Yeah, Brisbane's expensive. It used to have a lot of options well under $1 million. Springfield Lakes is a good option, so lots of new development taking place, some really good infrastructure, retail precincts. That's, lots of options available there.
And the Brisbane Lions training centre as well, if you're an
footy.
AFL fan.
And then Narangba was another one that we had a look at and thought that provided lots of options for buyers.
Yep.
Units, a lot more available. It's very similar to Melbourne. You can buy in somewhere like Fortitude Valley or West End. You can be near the action, you can be near the city. Many people work out those areas, so there's lots available there.
Yep, Gold Coast.
There's quite a few options under $1 million for houses. There's fewer than there were, but Ormo and Upper Coomera, you can still find quite a few houses. If you move to units, so you can really be part of the action. So Surfers Paradise and Southport have plenty of options at those price points.
Good locations there on the East Coast. What about the rest of the country and regions?
Yeah, so if you go to Perth, prices have jumped sort of 70, 80% within about 4 years, so it has become really expensive. Places like Baldivis, Alkimos, those areas still have quite a lot of options. They're not as cheap as they were, but you can still find quite a few options if you are a first home buyer. Again, looking at apartments, it does open up significantly. You can go somewhere like Subiaco, which is an incredibly popular area. Also Scarborough right on the beach, which is really nice.
Right, Adelaide?
Adelaide, Mount Barker, you can go to near the beach. Aldinga Beach is available, so quite a few options for houses. Again, very similar to Perth, the prices have moved very, very quickly over the past 4 years. Again, units, lots more options available. We can get to Glenelg, beautiful suburb right on the beach. Also Norwood it does have plenty of options under $1 million if you go for a unit.
So you've also run through the suburbs for houses and units for Canberra, Hobart and Darwin. What would you choose there as the best for capital growth?
The best for capital growth at the moment is Darwin. So Darwin is a very small city, but it has seen very strong growth over the past few years. It was a bit late starting compared to the other capital cities, but that growth is now occurring.
So first home buyers, you've got rising interest rates, you've got all this panic about falling values because of the budget changes. Should you rush in now or wait a bit, do you reckon?
I don't think you should rush. There's certainly a lot of help available for first home buyers at the moment. Things like the 5% deposit scheme have been very popular. We also know that pricing is slowing, so there isn't the same rush that there was even at the end of last year. So I think that the thing to do is make sure you've got your finance in order, make sure you've chosen the area that you want to buy and go have a look at a lot of homes, I think is also good advice. But certainly one of the good outcomes of the budget is a slowing market. Prices were moving very, very quickly prior to the budget, and obviously that can't continue. And it also is very stressful for first home buyers.
Yeah. Okay, all right, a great Around the Grounds wrap-up, Nerida. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today's myth is one many people quietly assume. I'll choose exactly when and how I retire. Nice idea, but in reality, it doesn't always work out that way. The latest research from Brighter Super has found 39% of retirees actually stopped working earlier than planned. It's not always by choice. Health, job changes, or caring for family can all play a role. At the same time, plenty of Aussies want a gradual shift out of work, not a sudden stop, but plenty are not prepared for it. More than a third want to know how much they'll actually need. And nearly the same amount don't understand what their super will pay them as income. The good news is retirement isn't all or nothing. You may be able to ease into it with a transition to retirement strategy. Depending on your circumstances, you might be able to draw some income from your super while you continue working. Set up a retirement income account early while you're still earning, and access tax benefits that support a smoother transition. Speak to your super fund about your options, because a bit of planning now can give you a lot more flexibility later. Still to come, the long-term investor mindset, how to keep calm when times are tough. Well, with changing appetites around share market volatility and investment timelines, Australian investors are rethinking how they generate monthly income. I'm sitting down with Nehemiah Richardson, Chief Executive and Managing Director of Term Plus, to get his take on it. Nehemiah, good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again, David.
All right. If you had to describe how investors are feeling now in this environment, what would you be? Give me one word.
Yeah, so that one word's cautious,
Right.
because I think, when you have the cost of living pressures that we have, driven by geopolitical and other types of risks, interest rates going up, with concerns in inflation, volatility in share markets, very hard, I think, for individuals, whether you're a retiree or whether you're young and growing your wealth, to feel comfortable, to kind of continue to grow your wealth in the context of so much uncertainty.
How do long-term professional investors approach an environment like this?
Yes.
What can we learn from it?
Okay, so I think firstly, you don't respond to headlines, you don't panic. And then I think secondly, within that context, you can't be passive. Money has different uses at different times. So there's kind of 3-4 buckets you can think about. Number one is I need cash for day-to-day needs where I have immediate access. Number two, I have need for income. Number three, I have a need for growth, right? And so within that context, you don't panic. What you have to really think about is, what sort of return do I need? And what's the use of the money? What's the risk that's associated with that? Because you have different ways of achieving that.
Yep.
And when do I actually need the money? Meaning, do I need it immediately? Can I be patient, etc.?
So where does Term Plus fit in those buckets?
Term Plus is one of those income options. Okay, and so we designed the Term Plus product, number one, to provide reliable income. So we pay a regular monthly income to our investors. Number two, I think what's really important, that question of, do you need your money? Okay, this is not for day-to-day needs, because we have 1 year, 2 year, 5 year terms. So within the context of what you're trying to achieve, we'll give you regular income, or that's our objective. You also have to be comfortable that whatever term that you choose, you won't need immediate access to your cash. You're not going to get your cash till the end of that term. Number three, I think what's really important is it's a floating rate product. So when you look at the RBA cash rate, which can move up and down, the one thing that we designed the product for is we pay a fixed percentage above that RBA cash rate. So it floats, and that means your income can move with the interest rate, so you have some protection against inflation.
Right.
I think also the fact that we have a highly diversified global portfolio, and so US and Europe, and so you're diversifying away from Australia. We have over 4,500 loans that support the portfolio, so very diversified. And the reason we do that is we're trying to mitigate the risk of loss of capital. We can never guarantee that. We're not a bank, we don't have a government guarantee, but we seek to mitigate the risk of capital loss as much as we can whilst paying that regular income. And the fact that it's really simple, you can go in, you can sign up, you're in 2 minutes. So I think if you're looking for reliable defensive income and you're looking for some level of capital stability, and like I said, we can't guarantee it, we're an investment product, but we seek to, as much as possible, mitigate risk of capital loss and ensure we get reliable income.
Great. Naomi, good to see you again.
Yes, thank you.
Coming up next, the link between dopamine and debt, why we overspend and how to stop it. Why is it so hard to stop spending, even when we know we shouldn't? When you tap your card or hit the Buy Now button, it doesn't just feel good, there's actually a chemical reason for it. Jana Bowden is a professor of marketing and consumer behaviour at Macquarie University.
Dopamine is the brain's reward system. It is literally a chemical high and a thrill, and it is what makes us feel good, especially when we shop and when we spend.
But here's the catch. It doesn't just happen when you buy something, it starts earlier than that.
Dopamine actually works in anticipation of purchasing. So when you're browsing, when you're hunting for deals, and when you're adding the items to your cart.
Despite cost of living pressures, Aussies are still spending, and some of it is going to waste. A Compare the Market survey found around half of Australians are paying for subscriptions they don't even use, from streaming services to gym memberships. The top 5 forgotten subscriptions alone could add up to around $1,700 a year.
When it's tap and go, that's when you can really lose that opportunity to stop, think and reflect on your shopping behaviour, and that is when spending risk and overspend creeps in.
So how do you take back control? Experts say it starts with breaking the dopamine loop. Try the 24-hour rule. Leave it in the cart overnight and see if the urge has faded the next day. Track your purchases to spot patterns like stress or late-night spending. Remove saved credit card details and avoid snap buying, because the goal is not to stop spending completely, it's to make sure you're the one in control, not your impulses.
Hi, I'm Grady Wolf from Bell Financial Group, and here's our stock of the week. News Corp is a global business with interests across real estate, financial news, publishing and data services. While many people still think of newspapers, the real story today is its digital businesses. A key asset is its majority stake in REA Group, which owns realestate.com.au, along with the growing Dow Jones business. Some analysts believe the market is undervaluing News Corp. In fact, the share price is often seen as mainly reflecting its stake in REA Group, meaning investors may be getting the rest of the business at a discount. The company also has a very strong balance sheet and generates solid cash flow, which sets it apart from traditional media companies. Importantly, it's shifting away from advertising income to more stable subscription and data income, which is proving pretty favourable with investors in the current market landscape. With high-quality assets and improving earnings, News Corp remains an interesting long-term play for investors.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. For all the latest money and investment news that you need to know, go to ymworld.com.au, and while you're there, subscribe to my free email newsletter, which is delivered to your inbox every Friday for free. Thanks for joining us. Next week on Your Money and Your Life, the best budgeting apps that link your banking with your spending, why insurance premiums are on the rise and how to beat them. Andrew Weiland reveals his top ETFs to invest in emerging markets. Plus, part 2 of Kochie's budget challenge with Naomi. Is solar the answer for her high energy use household?